Sukuma Wiki farming has now improved. Any simple farmer is now able to earn millions from Sukuma Wiki farming in just 60 days. But how can it be possible when every video on internet shows that you need a millionaire's budget for you to harvest millions? But they are forgetting 70% of farmers like us cannot afford such a millionaire's budget. So, can we still earn millions from Sukuma Wiki farming even with such a low budget? Yes, because I am going to reveal hidden secrets any farmer can use right now, working on a flat, leased land, using nothing but their hands, a basic hand hoe, and zero automation to equally earn millions from collard greens. But we cannot fully understand these hidden tips unless we break down the honest day-by-day timeline from a tiny seed to a massive cash harvest, showing you exactly how to make your current farm fund your big picture future. But before we get to step number 1, watch closely because I will reveal later a secret that few farmers are using to make millions from Sukuma Wiki farming. Step number 1, the seed and nursery stage, the seed variety. Now, if you want to pull a million shillings from an acre, you cannot use local open pollinated variety, although 1,000-headed variety stand out. But on a leased land, we must use highly productive hybrid varieties such as Mfalme F1, Ahadi F1, Malikia F1, or Sweet Georgia F1. But how do we catch up with farmers who have already made it? So let us use Mfalme F1 because it has a proven record of extended harvest of up to 1 year or more. But don't follow a spacing of 45 cm by 60 cm that the internet preaches. Instead, use a spacing of 45 cm by 45 cm to maximize our yield per acre. But choosing the right seed variety alone is nothing. Part B, nursery bed establishment. Raising your own seedlings in seed trays or ground mud nursery bed has been proven to cut your cost by 90%. But if you miss anything here, you have lost everything. So let us start at day 1. If you don't have money for plastic seed trays or imported cocoa peat, don't panic. Our traditional nursery bed is more than enough. But here is another traditional mistake that leaves every farmer broke. They buy cheap and certified seeds and scatter them blindly. The seeds grow overcrowded and choke each other out, and they get wiped out by dumping off fungal disease even before they see the sun. Now, make a raised bed of 1 meter wide, 15 cm high, with any desired length. Don't forget the prior steps of selecting a good spot with good drainage system, or tilling your chosen land to fine tilt. But to make our raw ground mud bed mimic a professional tray standard, we must fertilize it before we put a single seed into the soil. Then we apply a thin, even layer of well-decomposed manure across the bed. On top of that, we add a very small amount of phosphorus-rich fertilizer like DAP or NPK blend of 12 to 30 to 10. Phosphorus tells the embryo inside the seed to expand its root branching instantly. But we should not throw fertilizer granules right into the furrows where the seed sit. The salt will scorch these delicate seeds and ruin our germination. The secret is to spread our DAP evenly across the topsoil. Then we use a small stick to mix it thoroughly into the top 10 cm of dirt to dilute any hot spots. Once mixed, we level the soil, draw straight shallow furrows spaced 10 cm apart, and drop our seeds individually by hand along the line. These give each seed its own microcell for 0 shillings. By day 14, our seedlings will push out their first real jarred leaves. At this point, the original seed energy is gone. And because the root system is fragile, we are not going to apply granular fertilizer. Instead, let us mix just 2 bottle caps of a starter foliar like Easy Grow Starter or Gatite NPK into 10-liter watering can and pour it gently over the seedlings early in the morning to force rapid green growth. I was almost forgetting, but it is important to drench our soil with the systemic fungicides and insecticides such as Redomil Gold and Dantha to protect our tender millions early. Also, we should not give our seedlings a hard time by overwatering. Instead, we should maintain a healthy soil-water balance. At day 28, our seedlings are ready. But as we move to the next main field, there is a silent killer hidden in our list, flatland, that can completely drown or rot our potential million shillings investment in less than 24 hours. Here is how we stop it. Step number 2, land preparation and transplanting. We all know about watering our nursery bed to ease the removal process, but that is not the big deal. By week 4, our seedlings are pencil thick and ready for the main field. But most of us are farming on a leased land, meaning we cannot risk sinking thousands of shillings into digging permanent raised beds or buying machinery we might leave behind. Flat land is fine, but it comes with a deadly enemy: poor drainage. One heavy downpour will flood our roots and suffocate our entire cash crop. Before we transplant a single seedling, our land must be flawless. We should dig deep into our flat land to loosen the soil completely into a fine, crumbly tilt so roots don't stay stranded at the surface. This is also where we broadcast our cured manure across the flat field, incorporating it into the topsoil natively. To survive on a flat land, let us dig deep, clean drainage furrows all around the outer borders of our flat land, so heavy rain has a clear path to escape away from our crop. When we transplant, for us to maximize on this leased land, let us space our plants at exactly 45 cm by 45 cm. This intensive spacing forces the plant to form a dense canopy quickly, locking moisture into the ground, cutting down weeding labor and allowing us to fit a massive 20,000 plants into a single acre. And you know, one single plant of this Mfalme F1 variety has been proven to make over 55 Kenyan shillings in just 3 months of continuous harvesting. So, we treat this flat land as our financial stepping stone to stack profit today. But now that our plants are in the ground, the clock is ticking. If we follow the standard internet advice that says we should wait for 2 weeks before we fertilize our plant, we will stand our crop. The next 7 days require a radical feeding rhythm that triggers what we call the vegetative spike. Let us use the following new technology. Step number 3, crop management. The exact 7-day and 21-day feeding timeline. Let us talk about nutrition, because waiting for 2 weeks to fertilize is completely wrong for the Kenyan market. At day 7 after transplanting, exactly 1 week, our young kales are recovering from transplant shock. Their delicate root hairs are actively expanding and the plant is trying to push out its first real foliage. It doesn't need only raw fertilizer, it also needs phosphorus for the roots. At day 7, apply basal fertilizer rich in nitrogen and phosphorus such as DAP or NPK 17 around the root zone. This gives the expanding roots phosphorus for strength, nitrogen for early foliage, and for NPK 17, potassium for cell wall protection. We can also mix it with well-rotten chicken manure to supercharge it on a budget. Then comes the real secret. At day 21 to day 28, our Sukuma Wiki enters its critical vegetative spike phase. This is the exact moment you apply top-rich nitrogen fertilizer such as calcium ammonium nitrate, that is CN, or ammonium sulfate. Why? Because hybrid Mfalme F1 is about to undergo explosive leaf growth. The raw, fast-acting nitrogen in CN creates a massive foliage spike, while calcium ensures the leaf walls grow thick and heavy so that they don't tear under strong winds. Now, for us to keep this engine running, we must do a monthly top dressing with NPK or CN immediately after every major harvest cycle to replace lost nutrients. But as bad things happen to humans, also these good-looking kales are likely to be attacked by pests such as diamond backmoth and aphids. We should spray preventively every 7 to 14 days, alternating powerful insecticides like Escort or Belt for caterpillars and contact sprays like Pentagon or Digrimax for sucking pests like aphids. Now, our feeding and crop protections are locked in and our kales are booming. But day 60 is where most farmers completely fail, because they have the leaves but they don't know how to convert them into actual money without getting wiped out by market brokers. Next, I am going to reveal the raw mama mboga math and the secret way to hand buyers 30 days before you harvest. Step number 4, the mama mboga math and market handing secret. By day 60, your harvest begins. Let us throw away the corporate metrics like the metric tons, because out here in local markets like Marikiti or Mudhurwa or your neighborhood sender, nobody speaks that language. Brokers and mama mboga buy in bags or gunias and sell in bundles or vishada. Let us look at the real practical math. By using 45 by 45 centimeter spacing, our acre holds 20,000 plants, but you cannot manage 20,000 plants at once on a flat land without drip lines or water pumps to harness water or gravity-led furrows for irrigation. The secret here is staggered planting schedule. Divide your leased land into 4 quarters. Plant 5,000 seedlings this month, another 5,000 next month, and repeat. This method keeps our manual labor and watering highly manageable, ensures a steady flow of cash every single week, and make sure we never flood our local market. This Mfalme F1 is going to yield 600 bags to 800 bags before their life ends, where a standard sack weighs about 90 kg. But for those farmers selling per kg, under this practice, they are guaranteed of over 40 tons per acre at a conservative oil price of 1,500 Kenya shillings to 2,500 Kenya shillings per bag. That single acre pulls over 1 million shillings gross revenue, and one bag gives a mama mboga roughly 200 small bundles of 20 shillings each. When we supply her directly, she makes a profit, and we secure a loyal permanent buyer who takes our bag every single week. But how do we find these buyers so that we don't get stuck with rotting leaves? Simple farmers wait until the kales are ready, then sit by the roadside hoping a broker drives by to rescue them. But the pros hand the buyers at day 30, exactly 1 month before the first harvest. Now listen, we don't go to the main local market to sell to the big brokers, because they will cartel us and crash our prices. Instead, we wake up early in the morning and go directly to where the mama mbogas gather to buy their morning stock. Talk to them face to face and offer to deliver fresh Mfalme F1 straight to their kibanda early in the morning for 200 shillings less than market brokers. If we are able to secure 10 reliable mama mbogas who take 1 bag each twice a week, and our market is fully secured. The second way to find buyers, we walk into local boarding schools, private hospitals, and medium-sized hotels. We then show them a video of our clean, pest-free shamba on our phone and offer them a consistent weekly supply with a fixed price that doesn't change during dry season. This direct market eliminates the middleman and ensures we pocket 100% of our cash. But wait, how much of that 1 million shillings is actual profit and how much is swallowed by cost? Let us look at the raw and written cost ledger next to see how we cut expenses. Step number 5, the ultimate low overhead cost blueprint. Because we are focusing on a premium hybrid, our seed cost for 100 gram of Mfalme F1 variety will be 6,000 Kenya shillings to 8,500 Kenya shillings. Don't assume on this because this is your engine. The cost of manure will be roughly 8,000 Kenyan shillings. The cost of buying NPK or DAP, CN and sprays will be 25,000 Kenyan shillings. Manual labor and simple tools will cost us roughly 10,000 Kenya shillings. Land leasing will go up to 15,000 Kenya shillings. Other expenses will be almost 2,000 Kenya shillings. The total cost of production therefore will sit at 66,000 Kenya shillings. Now, before we get to net profit, let us recheck our gross revenue. Our gross revenue will be the number of bags harvested per acre, that is 600, times the average price, that is 2,000 Kenyan shillings, amounting to 1,200,000 Kenyan shillings. Therefore, our net profit will be gross revenue minus cost of production. That is 1,200,000 Kenyan shillings minus 66,000 Kenyan shillings, amounting to a net profit of 1,134,000 Kenyan shillings. Now, because we lowered our non-seed production cost, our net profit gives us the highest return on investment. But there is something that we're not talking about. Step number 6, start small, aim big. The big secret to commercial agribusiness is simple. Respect your current small beginning. If you cannot manage an acre today, start with an eighth of an acre or a small plot behind your house. Dig your boundary furrows, establish your orderly mud nursery bed, space your crops tightly at 30 cm by 30 cm, and stick to the 7-day, 21-day feeding math. Use the cash from that small plot to buy your first gravity drip irrigation lines, and use those drip lines to fund your first full acre. Now, the blueprint is fully in your hands. If you want to start managu farming, check our next video here, but it is not going to be easy. Nelson Mandela once said, "The glory of living lies not in never failing, but in rising every time we fall." And remember, if someone can do it, you can do it better. Thank you for watching.